whether or not it's possible to boost your T levels to the level mine are at with 100% no help. I don't even take a test booster. I mean, my free testosterone is still respectable. I think it was 13 or something like that, where it was 21 before.
So Clark, we talked about you yesterday, and we talked about your testosterone level. The only reason it's interesting to the majority of society is because you are basically, like myself, close to a 60-year-old man, and we're still healthy and we're still doing this, but your testosterone level is at a very high rate, which would imply something different than it is. And so we kind of talked about that yesterday, about how you've been able to stay consistent, and that's helped you stay relatively stress-free, healthy, and kept your levels high naturally.
Yeah. You know, you think that the implication would normally come from people who are misinformed, but apparently from what you told me, these people who are informed also question whether or not it's possible to boost your T levels to the level mine are at with 100% no help. I don't even take a test booster. I barely.
No.
Okay.
They were shocked.
Okay.
They were impressed. Somehow I could say that they believe.
Okay, fair enough.
But they're just shocked at such a high level, especially after a 7 score to go into the 8s. And they're so curious to find out about what the free testosterone is and your other numbers. And so,
yeah. So what happened was the free testosterone dropped this time and the total testosterone went up. SHGB went up. So there's some markers in my blood that I need to go address now that aren't where I want them to be. And that's what I'm doing. And that's the importance of getting blood. I mean, my free testosterone is still respectable. I think it was 13 or something like that, where it was 21 before. But now it's dropped down, but it's still within the high range for any age, but my age specifically.
Right. I would love for these guys to dissect your blood work at a future time and see what numbers they're looking at. And then also, if there's a chance, we get your blood work done by theirs, because I know that they're much more deep dive into blood work compared to a lot of places. These guys are a medical team in a sense of these guys want you guys to be healthy out there for men, women, kids that have issues, thyroid problems. So that's what I love about these guys. And so,
well, that's what I do. I fired my general practitioner because they'll never go as deep as we want to go. Right. So I have a company that I work with as well that does the deep dive into the different hormones. So specifically what we looked at for me, based upon the last blood work I had done, they wanted to look at my uric acid because there were some markers in there that they had a hunch about. But like you had pointed out when we were at the gym, there's always, so every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if I was doing something strenuous in the gym, it would cause my liver enzymes to be increased. So a regular doctor would look at that, and just because it doesn't fall within the numbers, they would instantly go, oh my God, there's a problem here. When an educated person, and specifically someone who knows about working out, is going to come in and say, no, did you work out hard yesterday? Well, yeah, okay, so I'm not worried about these numbers. We'll keep an eye on them if anything goes up, but we're not concerned with it because we know you're not an average person. You're out there actually putting in a lot of additional work that most people wouldn't do.
How much blood work are you getting done and how often?
So I do every 6 months, and they take at least 6 vials out of me.
Okay. Is the blood work solely for your testosterone, or is it for health reasons outside of fitness and bodybuilding?
It's for health reasons first, and then testosterone second. Because testosterone is not an issue to me. I have no symptoms at all in any aspect of my life that would indicate that there's some issue there. It's just for me and what I do. Like, I help men over 50 boost their T levels naturally. So I am someone who's learned how to do that for myself. But my number one concern is my health. Where's my cholesterol? Where's my PSA? And I'll be honest and open right now. My PSA, my numbers are, and it could be correlated to my high testosterone naturally, and the way it elevated so quickly over a short period of time. So my PSA is elevated right now. So the next thing I'm going for is to have that checked. I get the rectal exam and the whole nine, maybe even a biopsy, depending on what they say, just to look and make sure. And I'm not saying I have prostate cancer, but I'm saying I want to rule that out.
Yes, so smart, so smart. I do the same thing. Tests are for health reasons and our age to make sure that we're doing good and healthy. And secondary stuff, again, is great. And thyroid, testosterone levels and those things. I love that you did that. And I love that it spiked and went up. And it does. Those things kind of work together. When one goes up, something else may drop. So
yeah, there's always some thing that's going to happen, right? That's why they say it's a slippery slope when guys get on stuff too soon without the proper forethought and guidance from somebody who actually knows what's going to happen. Because the automatic assumption is guys are going to need to suppress their estrogen or their estradiol, and that's not the case. There needs to be a direct proportion. Now, I'm no doctor, and I don't know as much as your people did yesterday, but I do know there needs to be those hormones in our body as well. But guys will go and just attack that female hormone, right? And think that that's the reason. No, you need you're designed a way for a reason, and you should be in what we refer to as homeostasis. That shit all needs to be in balance with each other.
It's funny you brought that up, because that's one of the big things they talked about with these other kind of companies that are just like a testosterone company, where they're turning and burning you and trying to get your testosterone high. They crush the estrogen. And they were talking about the problems with doing that. And I don't think society understands that, or the guys that are out there going to these TRT mills where they just kind of get you on and get you out. I hope you guys get your stuff checked. Make sure that everything is good on your bloods, but also don't crush the estrogen. They were just talking about all the side effects that happens when you try to get your testosterone through the roof for these health and fitness nuts, and then they just crush the estrogen. It causes problems. So I loved hearing that they're at such a different level, and your guy as well. They're really trying to work and make people healthy more than they are just trying to make them health and fitness people.
Yeah. And say you're a vegan, right? You want to go test your blood to see if that lifestyle has caused any sort of issue that has you out of balance. Now, I understand why people do these sorts of things, but it makes no sense if you don't understand what it's doing to you and you're just hell-bent on being this person because you don't want to hurt an animal or whatever. And I'm willing to go here. You know what? It's survival of the fittest. You have to take care of yourself. And I'm not saying vegans are unhealthy, but what I'm saying is just because you don't eat meat or just because you don't do something doesn't mean that your blood would indicate that you're healthy based upon nutrients that you might be missing by cutting out certain food groups.